Hello everybody and welcome to the Minecraft Weekly Snapshot, and this week is 13 week 04A, and there's not been as many changes in this snapshot as perhaps in some of the others in this update, but what I can say is a lot of the stuff in this snapshot is more behind the scenes stuff for map makers than anything, to be absolutely honest, but there is a few new features which we're going to be going through in today's snapshot. And there's a few things that I can't go through because it would just simply either take too long or I don't fully understand them yet. So I will be just mentioning those things. There will be plenty of videos evolving about it when 1.5 actually comes out. So why don't we just get started right away. So we have improved or nerfed Bonemeal, depending on how you look at it. It no longer gives instant growth. Now each Bonemeal use actually advances the growth stage by one. There is 7 bone meal needed to fully grow a crop and 2 needed for saplings. Personally, I don't like this change, mainly because it makes the start of maps a lot harder. If you have a skeleton grinder in vanilla, it will not matter. Remotely, it will not matter really. Or if you have a lot of food, or even if you have an animal farm, it won't matter. It's just that in the start of maps it makes it a lot harder, and I'm not crazy about it because it's always been bone meal insta-grows things, but now you have to use it loads of times to get a fully grown crop. If there's no water around in the start of your map, for example waking up, and you have few pieces of dirt, then you could be in a real mess. I'm not going to lie, because bone meal now no longer is useful in that sense because of the amount of bone meals that you would need. You would need to kill... You need to get 3 bones basically, so just for 1 potato or 1 piece of wheat. So that's the problem with it really. I think hopefully it might get reduced. I think 3 bone meal to grow a crop would be fair, so a bone per crop would be fair. 7 seems a little on the steep side. The saplings, however, I think are fine. I don't mind the saplings so much, because I actually barely ever use bone meal on saplings anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. It doesn't really affect the vanilla game a lot, it just kind of makes maps a little harder. So yeah, sorry about that, phone went off in the background there. So, it says now, mobs are now scared of dangerous minecart tracks. That I've tested a little bit with, but the behaviour has not been reliable for me. I've tried testing it on various different situations with the TNT carts and stuff, but I've never seen any mobs run away from it, so I don't know whether I'm doing it wrong or whether there is something specific you have to do, but I've not seen any mobs run away from it or attempt to run away from it, so I'm not sure yet on how that fully works, but apparently that's been implemented, so we can roll with that. Maybe in the 1.5 update video I'll know more about that. So the big feature this week is a new scoreboard feature with command blocks. Now I can't show you this feature directly because I simply don't understand it. What it involves is a lot of complicated sort of commands within the command block, and it's designed to set up like a scoreboard based system, and it can have many different uses. Dinnerbone's been going crazy on Twitter telling people about what you can and can't do with it. And it can be used to detect things in players' inventories, I think, and stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure. So over the coming days I am sure that we will see more videos cropping up about this new scoreboard system feature. It's not 100% done according to Dinnerbone yet. He still has to work on it over the next week to get it completely finished off. So hopefully when he's completely got it finished off, then I'll be able to talk to you a little bit more about it, and I will be able to explain it a bit more to you. So that covers the command blocks. We've had some double slab improvements. These aren't directly in-game, but now those of you who are map makers and like to use that double smooth slab thing, so the smooth stone slab, wherever that is, there, the slab with that one texture all over it, instead of looking like 2 slabs on top of each other, has been re-implemented now. It got removed. And also there is the new smooth sandstone block, which is completely smooth. It's the bottom texture of the smooth sandstone block all the way around it, so you get a true smooth sandstone block. So if you want to use that as well, then you have that option to use as well. So that covers the slab changes. These aren't in the vanilla game, but Jeb has indicated that they may be added in the future if they are really, really wanted. Certainly the double stone slab. But we'll see just what Mojang have up their sleeves on that one. There's been another big change with dispensers. Dispensers have had a bit of an overhaul. And now if you want to drop items, I would recommend using droppers. I would change them to droppers, because dispensers behave quite a bit different now to how they did before. So dispensers themselves actually now have more behaviors with different items. They can now send out and activate TNT, they can now use bone meal, they can now use flint and steel, and they can auto equip armor, and they could also face all 6 directions. So I have a little demo with each of these set up here. So we've got the 6 directions first: forwards, right, backwards, left, up and down. And obviously now they obey the laws of the 3rd dimension, which is pretty cool. So this is the bone meal example I have rigged up here. Do I actually have any bone meal in it? I don't. So if I just grab the bone meal over here, toss that in here, as you can see you can fire bone meal out and it will grow them. So I can imagine that you will be able to use this on automatic farms and stuff, is what I'm thinking. So that will be fairly interesting to see. So this one has the armor in it. So if I actually stand here, as you can see, that fired at me. I've got the diamond helmet, diamond chest plate, diamond leggings and diamond boots. So I can imagine that standing on a pressure plate will fire maybe 4 dispensers throwing armor at you, and you get auto equipped. So that'll be really good for stuff like PvP, I'm imagining, is what that's for. But I like that feature. This one has the flint and steel. So if I activate this, it can start a fire, and that also consumes durability on the flint, but it's a bit more reliable than using a fire charge, from what I understand. So this backwards one has nothing in it, and neither is that one. So we can also use it. I'll just grab some things. We have TNT that we can use. Actually, I've already got a TNT model rigged up, and I believe that was this one. Yeah, that's this one. So we can shift click it. You could drop TNT out of it. So I can imagine. There we go. I can imagine some proximity bombs being used with that from the ceiling, now that we can actually fire things down. Or, well, I guess you could just use a prime TNT spawner. So it wouldn't really be worth it, to be honest. But, yeah, that's just something else that's been added, which might be useful for some people. So that pretty much covers everything to do with dispensers for this week. And as always, there's been a lot of bug fixes. I think from what I've read, although the bug page is down at the moment, there's about 20 unique bug fixes that have been named on Reddit. So the game's getting more stable for everybody. As I say, sorry I couldn't really cover everything in great detail this week. If I did, I'd probably be here all day explaining about the new command block features and stuff, and I don't understand them myself yet, but you will probably not need them in vanilla. You might see them on servers and maybe in sort of multiplayer PvP maps, is what I imagine they're going to be used for. So I don't know really on that front. And also about the mob behaviour, I haven't been able to accurately and reliably produce that behaviour from different mobs, but generally I've told you what you need to know. If you want to know more, there is plenty on Reddit, and I'm sure pretty soon there will be videos of this going up. I can imagine Seth Bling will be hard at work making a video all about this new command block thing. So I'm pretty happy with some of the changes this week. I hope you are too. Not too happy about the bone meal one, but I can live with it. Just seems a shame that now maps are getting always harder. There'll be plenty more vanilla by the looks of it from me in the future, I think. But as I say, we'll see. So yeah, that pretty much covers it, I think. There's not a whole lot more to say. I think we've just about nailed it. So yeah, that is everything for this week, and I hope to see you in next week's Snapshot. And in next week's Snapshot we'll see what surprises Mojang have to offer. Hopefully a nerf on the bone meal again and bring it back. Please, Mojang. Please don't ruin the bone meal. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. I hope to see you next week. And until then, guys, see you later and have a good day.